Welcome to Ty and Rye, the Finance Guys Market Mini Report, a short podcast that updates you on the past week's important topics and trends. Remember, this is not an offer to sell, and past performance does not guarantee future returns. Here are Ty Hansen and Ryan Robertson. Hello and welcome, everybody. A new mini podcast, mini report.
Market Mini
Podcast. Podcast, yeah. Maybe I should...
a podcast reporting markets minis.
I should get that
markets.
straight. Yeah.
I
mini market
we can
report.
call it whatever we want.
Yep. Today is...
Marketing Mini.
August 6th. We're going to be putting this out Monday, August the 9th.
Yep.
That's when you're all going to hear it. So
But
for this week...
For the week ending August 6th.
For this week, Ty's got some really great tidbits.
Ooh. I have got the stock pick to end all stock picks. Are you kidding
really?
me?
Wow.
We're going to make so much money on this stock pick.
That's what we're looking for. Give us a stock pick.
Anybody that's listening to this for hot stock picks, sorry, wrong podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you got to go to Instagram for those. Go
to Instagram and just look for the sponsored ads and then click yes. That's what you want. So so this is not an offer to sell or any investment advice, by the way. I'll just rephrase
Even
that
though
as always.
we joked about it, it's not.
Yeah, we're totally joking. So if you're an SEC regulator, we're totally joking about that.
Completely.
No, pretty good week. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything too wild. The conservative bond side of the market is down about 0.5%. The flip side, the equity side of the market, up about 0.5% across the board. The big winner this last week was small cap. We're kind of seeing that. So this whole entire year has either been tech/growth, a little bit riskier, large cap growth, and maybe like during a week it'll switch over to that, and then the next week it'll be more of like the Dow Jones and more of the value oriented stuff.
It's been a real flip-flop with that for sure.
Yeah, it is so funny, this value versus growth it vacillates back and forth. Anyways, this week was more of the value like Dow Jones, like blue chip kind of stuff. So and the thing that's interesting about that, so I think where it really stems from is, so earnings reports for the most part have been pretty dang strong.
Yeah.
And where they have actually been the strongest have kind of been in those blue chip, blue collar, blue collar, type companies, the GEs of the world, those kinds of things have been doing really, really well. Actually, last week, the only real kind of loser, if you will, and it wasn't even that far off projection, it was Amazon.
Yeah.
And it is something
they did have to pay a fine. Kind of a large fine.
It's a big deal. Well, the bigger reason though for the earnings, the shortfall, it's for their projections. They've actually done some revisions for projections, and they're a little lower. It does have some analysts a little bit nervous. I think I may have talked about this last week on the mini. I hope not. But it's basically that if they're forecasting, if they're reducing forecasts for the next few quarters, it's kind of like, okay, well, what is Amazon seeing, right? Are we going to see a decline in economic output? So, I don't know, nothing too concerning as of yet, but still that kind of comes back to the narrative of, okay, if economic output slows down amidst this inflationary scare that we're in, that can turn out to be something pretty problematic. So,
right.
But to the contrary, what was with employment this week? What did we see in employment this week?
Great. We got great job reports this week.
Yep.
It's like 1 million jobs, wasn't it?
Really good job creation, and unemployment rate was a lot lower than expected. So
I think it ticked down a couple of tenths, which is a pretty big move.
Pretty big deal. Yeah, exactly. So people are finally starting to go back to work. Well, percentage-wise, more people are going back. So that's a good thing. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, if we've got good earnings reports, people going back to work, more job creation, like those are positives.
Yeah.
Right? So we're good.
What were we up this week? What was the market up?
Market was about 0.5% positive. Crypto's up on average between 10 and 15%. So crypto's obviously still, they're having a little bit of a ride. AMD and a couple of the other meme stocks and things like that, they had a killer week. So people are kind of coming back from this inflation scare the last few weeks into this last month, and I think people are getting a little more optimistic about investing. So markets are good. Next week, we get some more consumer confidence data that'll come out, which again it's more a little less quantitative, a little more qualitative. A little less qualitative. More no, I'm saying that wrong. Quantitative, a little less quantitative, like real hard numbers, and a little more qualitative, like what do people feel, market sentiment, what do we feel like's going on. So that's coming out next week. What is the market, how's the market feeling next week? That's what we're going to hear.
Right,
and learn about.
because that's all we care about is how do we feel, right?
How do we feel? Are we happy? Do we feel good? How do you feel, Ryan?
Hey,
Ryan, are you
I
good?
feel good. Yeah.
Good. It's Friday. Good? Yeah, I feel great. It's Friday. So.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks, Ty.
Right, brother.
That's a really good report. Everybody, thank you. We will talk with you.
Oh, and I'll say it again, tyandrye.com.
There you go.
Check
Go
us
to
out.
it. Check us out.
We
Thanks,
have,
everybody.
We have a pretty handsome or dapper picture on our website, tyandrye.com.
Yeah.
All right.
Check
Thanks,
it out,
buddy.
everybody. Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Ty and Rye, the Finance Guys. This is our weekly market mini report. New episodes of this will be put out every Monday, so make sure you don't miss those. Also, the longer podcasts, more in-depth discussions, those will drop every Saturday. So subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, or follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Ty and Rye Podcast. That way you don't miss any new episodes. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you have a great week.